224 young men who today are about to become players in the National Football League. A day where lives are changed, fates are decided, dynasties are born, and the clock is always ticking. Of course, I'm talking about draft day.
Well, hello everybody. Hello, this is the Dallas Cowboys content creator, Game Time Brian, and we just saw a very good effort by our Cowboys, but they did the right thing. They lost, yes, they lost on a last-second touchdown from Marcus Mariota to Scary Terry McLaurin to push the Commandos, the Washington Commanders, to a 23-19 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. It was best for the franchise. Don't listen to Jerry. Don't listen to Steven. Don't even listen to Big Mike McCarthy. It was the best possible scenario. And as I watch these 4 o'clock games, the Niners are up 3-0 in the first. If the Niners win this game, we started today at 13. We are now sitting no worse than the 12th spot in the NFL draft. We could move up to the number 11th spot in the NFL draft. And I will pull up Tankathon right now and show you. Yes, unfortunately, that's what we've been relegated to, everybody. This is Tankathon. The Tennessee Titans have secured the number 1 overall pick. Are they taking quarterback? I don't know. They got Will Levis. Maybe they use it as bargaining power to move with the New York Football Giants, who are number 3. They take the L. I think the Giants move up 1. Maybe there were 3 going into the day, but regardless, Giants are now going to have to trade assets to get a top quarterback. Whether Tennessee wants a quarterback or not, they should draft one or trade the pick, more importantly. The Cleveland Browns, you got to think they're taking a quarterback. You got to. Deshaun Watson, I understand that he just restructured his deal, but you got to take a quarterback, right? Giants and Tennessee make a trade. Giants move up, but that win last week basically costed you at least one, probably a first and a third round draft pick. So this is where we stand right now. Dallas is sitting 12 at 7-10. Even if Arizona loses, they cannot pass us. But if San Fran wins the game and they go to 7-10, we jump them because of strength of schedule. So there it is, Tankathon. A lot of teams doing a lot of stupid stuff. We're going to break down the game. Like I said, Commandos 23, Dallas Cowboys 19. Dallas finishes up their season at 7-10. They played, you figure, the one game where they had in the bag where Amani Oruwariye decided to touch the blocked punt, which it costed us the game. That would have been 8. Again, all the injuries we had. I had predicted Dallas with a 10-win, a 10-win season. So all in all, not horrible. We had nothing to play for today, people. It was not best for business to win this game. Trey Lance got to start today. Again, it's long overdue, in my opinion. Not sure why we went with Cooper Rush for as long as we did. Trey Lance gives you some running. Again, Trey Lance, 6 rushes for 26 yards, but still, he gave you some options when all else fails. I would have liked to have seen Trey more this season. I would rather have Trey Lance as our backup moving forward. That's just me, people. That's just me. But let's look into the numbers. Trey Lance, 20 for 34 for 244, no touchdowns, and more importantly, no INTs, 2 sacks. He had an 81, a quarterback rating. Rico Dowdle, 22 rushes for 72 yards. They held him in check, 3.3 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Deuce Vaughn, 6 for 37, a 6.2 yards average. I really like Deuce Vaughn like in this role. And Lepke, the fact that our coaching staff can't do this more often. This is a team fighting for this win, people. Again, this was a playoff team. They're a 12-5 team who was fighting for this. So make no mistake, it was a good team that we're playing. We could argue about how good. We could argue it. We could definitely argue how good they are. But I think they're a decent football team. I really do. Let me move this camera over. There we go. Marcus Mariota came in. Jaden Daniels looked shaky. To my man Louis T, he one of them ones. I don't know that he is. At least Dallas has his number. 6 for 12, 38 yards, 3.2 yards per carry. He was sacked 4 times, 56.9 QBR. Marcus Mariota, ex-Eagle. Marcus has always played us well. Ex-Tennessee Titan. Mariota, 5 rushes for 56 yards. Again, this is what you're going to get when you play the Commandos. Brian Robinson Jr., not much at all. Everybody wants to talk about the Washington offensive line. I think it stinks. I know Biotish was out. I don't think it's very good. I think Cowboys have a better offensive line. Who cares about what people think? To me, those are the facts here. Terry McLaurin, 8 for 62 and 1 tutty. He got a lot of that on the last drive of the game. Zach Ertz, Cowboy killer, 5 for 44 and a touchdown. Austin Eckler. This is Austin Eckler's return game. Austin Eckler hadn't played a game since we beat the Commanders when we went into Washington, Landover, Maryland, and beat them, and he had a severe concussion. So I'm glad he made it through the game, getting ready for the playoffs. And we will break down the playoff matchups right now. They're pretty much locked in other than tonight's game, which we will be streaming. Solo tackles. Jeremy Chin led the Commandos with 13. Mike Sanistril, I really liked him coming out of draft last year. Reminds me a lot of Jordan Lewis out of the University of Michigan. Really liked him. Frankie Louvu, arguably their best free agent linebacker. And then Bobby Wagner. Maris Leofau he was a good game. A little bit shaky. He picked a bad gap towards the end of the game that basically cost us the game. Deron Bland, Malik Hooker, Jordan Lewis has been balling. More importantly, let's look at the stats. That's what I want to look at, the team stats. That's going to really tell you everything you need to know. Passing first downs, 18 to 23. Dallas had more first downs in general. Passing, they had 12 to the Commandos 11. Rushing, 9 to 6. First downs from penalties, 2 to 1. Third down efficiency, 7 for 17. Not great. Washington just a little better, 6 for 13. Fourth down, 1 for 1, 1 for 2. Total plays, we had 20 more total plays. Total yards, we had them by over 100 yards. The total drives, we had them by an extra drive. Yards per play, we won. Passing, we won. Sack yards lost. We had 6 sacks, people. We had 6. Micah had 2.5 sacks today. He ends up, I think, with 12 sacks for the year, I believe. Put in the comments. Rushing attempts, 39 to 18. No, I like that. Red zone, obviously not good. 1 for 6. Washington, 3 for 3. We had 11 penalties. Mike McCarthy does it again. 11 penalties for 68 yards. Time of possession, we dominated. 37-03 to 22-57. And yet, We lost the game. We won the turnover battle. We won total yards. We won first downs. We won time of possession. What that is, people, is a team that is not well coached, in my opinion. I'm on board with saying Mike McCarthy. I don't mind Mike McCarthy coming back. Rumor has it Jerry Jones wants Mike McCarthy back. Other people within the organization wants to move on. Jerry Jones does not like paying for his coaches. Ben Johnson is rumored to be among the guys who would want the job, along with Mike Vrabel. Give me either one of them over Mike McCarthy. If Mike McCarthy comes back, then he needs to not be the offensive play caller. Why did we see Cavante Turpin involved as much as we did today, but we didn't see him all year? Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense whatsoever that we've seen Turpin at times. Mainly it's been special teams. And shout out to Cavante and to Brandon Aubrey, their first team, first Pro Bowl. Brandon Aubrey, it's his first Pro Bowl. Cavante Turpin, it's his second a Pro Bowl in a row. They don't really kick to him much. That's a testament to their return ability. Dallas should have won the game. Now, the stars aligned and we lost. It was better. It was better for business that we lost. Jerry will never admit it. We sat a lot of guys. Listen, I'm not even going to get into the injuries. It happened. Good. Now, I'm looking right now. I'm looking at some of the scores. The Broncos are up 13-0 over the Chiefs, 14-0 over the Chiefs. The Chiefs are resting with the number one seed. The next big thing would be the Niners. Niners have the ball inside Arizona 40-yard line. They're up 3-0. Again, if the 49ers win this game, Dallas moves up to number 11. You get up to number 11. Now you're opening to the door for possible trade-up scenarios for guys like Abdul Carter. If he slips past number 7 to like 8 or 9 area, we could possibly get up and get Abdul Carter. Niners are driving the ball. I'm watching it. Keep it going. Again, people, it's for what's best for the organization right now. And unfortunately, that's where we're at. It's all about the draft. But make no mistake, everything starts with January 14th. Okay, that's when McCarthy's contract is officially up. We need to identify if Will McClay is going to have a lot of suitors to be GM. His son is graduating high school. What do they do with Will McClay? There is a lot of things that need to be done. Dallas is publicly saying there's no rush to do anything. They're fools. The good teams, the good organizations are already working. The game is over. You need to be in your office, as a GM would, getting a game plan. That's what needs to happen. If Will McClay is coming back, then sign him long term. You need to make him the GM. That's what you need to do. You need to make Will McClay the GM or move on. We need to identify the coach. Is it Ben Johnson? Are we going to stick with McCarthy? If it is McCarthy, then we need to decide if you want him calling plays. Do you trust Brian Schottenheimer? This is all the things that the GM has to talk about. There's a lot. And then you got free agency right around the corner, followed by the draft. We have a boatload of draft picks. There's going to be switches flipped in the contracts of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. It was put in there to flip. It's going to free up upwards of $100 million. As soon as Micah Parsons signs, that should be the first order of business. You want him? Sign him. You will save upwards of $10 million. He's supposed to count over $17 million next year. As soon as you sign him to a long-term deal, year one, you save big. We are fine monetarily. You have to identify. This is why you need to hit the ground running. I don't understand why our team does what they do. But stay tuned for that. Again, just wanted to wrap up our season here. Expect a lot of content coming forward in the playoffs against the actual playoff teams, the teams that make the playoffs. That's what we care about. I can't believe it's been a year since we made the playoffs and choked to the Green Bay Packers. I cannot believe it's been a year. Now, the hometown team here, Philadelphia Eagles, they get to host that same Green Bay Packers. Not a lot of respect for the Packers. We shall see exactly what happens next week. Eagles have a different team, a better running game. We shall see what's going to happen. Are Eagles about ready to go on a run? Stay tuned. We'll be here to cover it all. Either way, our Cowboys take the loss, 23-19. And remember, and don't always forget, go Cowboys, baby.
How about them Cowboys?
Late. I'll see you soon.